get clients, which is all about creating consistency in your business. So the tools that I will share with you today will help you be more consistent in your marketing, which is all about gaining attention, getting attention from your target market, and filling in the top piece of that sales funnel. That's what this is all about today, generating leads, getting attention, generating leads, and starting to fill that top piece of the sales funnel. But it also does flow to the other pieces of the sales funnel with the follow-up activities. And you'll see that once I get into that in a couple minutes. What I'm going to do now is share the PowerPoint slide that I have prepared for you. And if for some reason, let me see here, 30-day marketing, right here, no, that's not it. Let me see, maybe I have to make it bigger so it shows up. Okay, then now let me try it. This Hangout, it's really quirky as far as what documents. Here we go. If you can't see this, let me know.
No, I can see it.
You can see it?
Screen though.
What do you see?
Your computer screen. So I see the main piece and then the sidebar with the different
oh, really?
slide.
It's not pulling it up like big. I was trying to, you know, I have a PDF of it, and
it's okay as is.
Okay, let me see if I can't pull the PDF up though. It wasn't pulling it up. It wasn't. Google Hangouts wasn't recognizing it. Can you see the PDF?
No, seeing your screen. Whoops.
Yeah.
Does it look better or worse than the other one?
The same.
Oh, the same. So it didn't really change it. All right, well, let me make this bigger then. Let me get rid of this. I don't know why that's not really working well, but can you see it okay?
Yep.
All right, so we'll just do it this way. So the topic today is find new clients. Consistent marketing is the key to your success. And I truly believe that. So what we're going to talk about is how to get some more focus in your marketing system that you're setting up in your business so that you do get more clients and close more sales. After all, that's what this is really all about. So I just have this here to review, and I apologize about this.
That's okay.
Take that away. You know, I got a new computer, and I don't have Adobe on it. It's some other PDF program, and I just don't think it appears it's not that compatible with Google Hangouts. So this is your pipeline. You can see at the very top of the pipeline here, this is where we are doing marketing activities to attract prospects, make contacts with prospects. We're actively communicating with them either through email or telephone. We're gathering leads and we're collecting referrals from our business referral partners. And that's what's going to help us fill the pipeline, fill that sales pipeline at the very top, just as you can see in this diagram. And then all the leads go into your funnel, and then there's a number of other activities that need to happen in order for you to enroll new clients, with the big one being those follow-up activities. We're getting leads into our pipeline, and following up is like critical to ensure that we are doing those activities to pull people deeper into our pipeline and they start investing in our products and services. And Linda, you're right, follow-up is just really a big piece that a lot of people really let drop, and that was a big gap in my sales funnel. I knew it was a place where my sales funnel was collapsing, was the follow-up. I was doing some, but not nearly enough. So if you don't have a CRM tool that you're using, a customer relationship management tool that you're using, as you're marketing more and generating leads, you're definitely going to want to consider a system. So Linda and Christine, do you have any type of CRM system that you are currently using? for sales pipeline management and managing leads and prospects.
Linda, what do you do?
I've been using my email program that I've been working with, and I'm supposed to be signed up for the HubSpot free CRM.
Yes.
And I haven't figured out how to make it work yet because it's supposed to be connected with Outlook, and I don't use Outlook. I use a GoDaddy-based email.
It doesn't work with GoDaddy. You're going to have to use Outlook or Gmail.
But that's where my my email address is through that domain. I'm going to have to use a different CRM, I guess.
The CRM might work for you because I was with Pipeliner. I had recently signed up for it, and then I switched over to the HubSpot because it is free, and it's actually very powerful for free. It is amazing. It does pretty much what Pipeliner did without all the fancy charts, which with the HubSpot one you have to pay extra for. But it does pretty much everything else that the Pipeliner did without those fancy charts, more or less. So, it connects to a number of emails, but I know GoDaddy isn't one of them. But if you have a Gmail, you could set it up that way.
I don't. I guess
you'll have
to do a Gmail and have it forward or something. So I set up Linda's Luxury Closet as my domain plus my email.
Yeah, you can set up the domain, and the reason I know this is because I just went through this same thing. Okay. Because I had set up my HubSpot account with BenitaRichter.com, my Benita@BenitaRichter.com email.
Right.
But then GoDaddy didn't link up to install the Sidekick, where you can track email opens and links. If people click your links or go to your website. So I had to start a whole new CRM account with my Gmail account, and then I just connected my Gmail email address. Now for the CRM, it's basically for all sales follow-up. So for me, I'm thinking I can compartmentalize sales activities really well and just use my Gmail account for that. Or you can send emails directly from the HubSpot account, and it tracks it for you. It records it as an activity. But you still have to be hooked up to the Gmail. So did you go through the tutorial, the HubSpot tutorial?
I got through part of it and got kind of a little frustrated with trying to make it work.
Oh, yeah, mine, I didn't have a problem setting it up. The only problem I did have a problem at the very end when I tried to connect Sidekick and HubSpot, and the reason was because I was using my Benita@BenitaRichter.com GoDaddy email as the HubSpot account, but then trying to link it to a Gmail account, and those emails have to both be the same. So you might want to go back and try that just to play with it. I think you'll find that you love it because you can record phone calls. You can make phone calls directly from the HubSpot CRM and record them. It's really cool.
Is that just with your landline or your cell phone?
You can do it through your computer speakers or your computer microphone and speakers, so you can have phone conversations. Oh. So I do have an external microphone hooked up to my computer, and the sound quality was excellent. It was just like you were having a regular phone call. It sounded that good.
Great.
So my husband tested it for me. So just getting back to the CRM, the HubSpot, you can get it to work, Linda. Okay, you just have to have both the same emails. And if you have any questions about it, we can talk about it later. But you'll definitely want some sort of CRM tool. And a CRM tool is beyond, this is what I hear from, well, I have Constant Contact, or I have Aweber or MailChimp or some other mail list service. And a CRM tool is entirely different from that. Because if you are collecting leads through your website, or you go out networking and you're meeting people and they're signing up on your list, what they're basically, they become leads in a sense, but the ones that are coming through your website are going to be a lot lower quality typically than people that you meet in person. So there are specific people that you will meet in person that you will want to go through a more comprehensive follow-up, keep in touch strategy than simply through mailing an e-newsletter and promotions through your emails. So this is the difference. A CRM tool I look at as actively managing what you look at as warm to high potential leads and prospects, rather than just the general email list through your constant contact. And I believe that Infusionsoft is a sales management tool that costs like $200 a month. I believe that has a CRM in it, but that's a tool that you really, most people are not ready for that yet until they're, selling at least 100,000, if not more, dollars per month revenue that they're generating. So look for a really affordable CRM tool. And again, I look at the CRM tool as being able to actively manage follow-up with prospects, leads and prospects that are warm or have much higher potential than a website lead. Okay? So following up is really key, and then the other activities that you will do to convert people into clients is having sales conversations, closing sales conversations, getting the business, asking for the business, and getting referrals from others. Are there any questions about this diagram? Okay.
Nope.
Great. And I will move on to the next one.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry, I lost a lot of what you just said. I'm sorry, the sound went out on my end. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
The last thing I heard you say was maybe it was just describing all the different aspects in that last slide.
Okay. So you're filling your pipeline.
Right.
And then you're having leads and potential prospects coming into your pipeline. A real critical activity will be the following up. So we talked a lot about a CRM tool,
right?
Some sort of customer relationship management tool in place. So you're following up with people, and then a certain number of people will say, yes, I want to talk with you about working with you. So that's where having your sales conversations comes into play. You're asking for the business, you're closing sales, and you're also getting referrals from other business referral partners. That's what I call them. They're other people who know people and they are in touch with your potential target market.
Right.
So these are all activities that we need to be doing in order to get clients, in order to get customers. And the more efficient and productive we are at getting these activities done, and the more consistently we do them, the more successful we will have in generating revenues in our business.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. So where I like to start first is choosing where to focus. And what I have is an assessment. It's a diagnostic tool to help you determine what stage of the sales funnel that you need to focus in your business. And the 4 different stages are filling the pipeline, which is all about, I need more leads. I need more potential clients coming into my sales pipeline. The next stage is following up. That could be for a person where I already have a lot of leads, but I know that they're falling through the cracks. I'm not following up. I need to really focus on this activity in my business to help plug the leaks in the sales funnel. And we've been talking a lot about the sales funnel over the last 5 months. So I know you can imagine what this means. We have that sales funnel, we're getting leads, and there are leaks in the sales funnel, and we want to plug them up. Or it could be the case where you're filling the pipeline, you're getting enough leads, you're following up with people, but you're not having enough sales conversations or making enough invitations to have sales conversations. So that could be a potential area for someone to work in. And then, of course, closing sales is asking for the business and using sales skills to influence someone to take that next step and say, yes, I want to work with you. I'm going to stop sharing this document because I do have the assessment, and I also uploaded it to the Virtual Business Salon website. So
thank you.
If you want, you can take a look at it. Okay, let me see. Pull this up here, and I will share it with you. So here's the assessment, and it has the same, let me know if you can't see it, it has the same diagram on it.
I see it.
Okay, good. So to successfully generate leads, prospects, and get clients, these are the 4 distinct stages that we just talked about. Filling the pipeline, following up, having sales conversations, and closing sales. Just a few definitions to remind you what prospects, contacts, leads, and referrals are. And what I have put together for you is a diagnostic tool to help you determine what stage are you at right here. What stage are you at, and what stage should you be working at when you're deciding what type of marketing activities to do in your business. So this is the assessment, which I did upload in the salon for you. So basically what you want to do is you want to start answering these questions. And let's just go through some of these quickly here. So you want to answer all the questions. So in the section filling the pipeline, this is the first stage. Are you brand new in business? You would check yes or no. If you sat down to call every lead you currently have, would your calls be completed in a few hours, and so forth. So there's like basically 5 questions, 5 or 6 questions, I believe, for each. I think I kept it pretty consistent. There's 4, there's 4. But if you answered yes to most of the above questions, you need to focus on filling the pipeline. So that's what you're looking for, is as you're answering these questions, how many are you checking off and marking yes? With following up, do you have a drawer full of business cards from people you've met but have not been in touch with since meeting them? Have colleagues handed you leads but you haven't gotten around to calling? Do you have a wide network of personal contacts with whom you never talk business? Are there people who you haven't been in touch with lately who've inquired about your services? So again, if you answer yes to most of these questions, it could be that this is the stage that you need to focus on. Now, just a point here, if you answered most to the questions in filling the sales pipeline, and you also answered yes to most of the questions in following up, you don't want to be working on both of these at the same time. You want to focus on this first stage. So it could be, even though you answered yes to these questions for filling the pipeline and following up, you want to focus on the first stage that occurs. So for a person who that would apply to, they would focus on filling the pipeline. Having sales conversations, this is another stage, and I have 4 different questions that you can ask yourself. And closing sales. So it is possible that someone could go through and complete this assessment and answer yes to most every question. It's completely possible. So in that case, once again, they would go back to this stage here and focus here to start filling the pipeline. Then perhaps the next month they would start with the following up activity. So the point is you do want to focus. There is going to be some overlap because obviously, if you're generating leads, you're going to want to start to follow up with these people, but you want to get this fixed first. You really want to get a good system for filling the pipeline before you move to closing sales, and you'll see that that's pretty obvious why, because you can't close sales unless you have people in the pipeline.
That makes sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And even following up, it's the same thing. You can't follow up unless you have people in the pipeline. So there is some overlap, but this assessment does give you some idea where to start. Okay.
Well, it's good for personal accountability to be realistic.
Pardon me, Linda?
I said it's great for accountability, personally, for being realistic about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely is, and it's revealing. You know, it's like looking at these different stages of the marketing and sales funnel and saying, okay, I see where it's broken. I see where it's not working, and now I know where I need to focus first to help fix this problem, to generate more leads, get more sales, and again, the tool I'll share later will help give you more consistency with the whole marketing. So just looking at that, I'd just like to, ask you, what stage do you think you're both at?
Well, for me, for Christine, definitely filling the pipeline.
Okay. Yep. How about you, Linda? What do you think?
I have a few too many yeses in all the areas. It's the inconsistency.
Mm-hmm. So if that's true, you would want to start with the first stage as well, filling the pipeline. And, if you have a CRM tool in place, and Christine, that HubSpot, I would definitely check that out. It's HubSpot.com/sales.
Thank you. I definitely will.
Yeah, it's a free tool, and I just signed up for it as well, and I love it. I love it already.
Great.
Yeah. So I haven't gotten real deep into it. I've only had it 2 weeks, but I really like it, and it's free. And a lot of those tools are $35, $39 a month. So for free, it's very powerful.
Great.
Yeah, and it helps you manage that follow-up process and then keep track of deals that you have. So say you have a prospect who wants to talk with you about your services, you can enter a deal in HubSpot and assign a dollar value to it, and you just mark it off when you go through the different stages of the deal of talking with a person, making a proposal, closing the sale. So it really helps you keep track of your prospects rather than, for me, just having them in an Excel spreadsheet or even on a piece of paper next to my desk who I'm focusing on right now. It's just an additional tool.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
So check that HubSpot out.
That seems so practical.
Yeah, it is. It is. And Linda, I'm sure you'll get it working. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. All right. So we know where to focus with both of you. It's filling the pipeline. You want to focus on that stage. And here's just a quick definition of marketing tactics: actions you take to attract your target market into your sales funnel and then move them successfully through your sales pipeline to make a decision to buy. You've probably seen this diagram before, the most effective marketing tactics. The most effective marketing tactics for getting clients the quickest is on the left side of this diagram, and the least effective tactics are on the right. So you'll see that direct contact and follow-up is the most effective way of getting clients. And what that really is that's reaching out to people who you've already identified as good potential customers for you. It could be people who have already expressed an interest in working with you in some way, contacting them. It could also be reaching out to business referral partners and letting them know that you are looking for business and you would love any referrals from them. You would appreciate any referrals. And also think about, this is just a little side note, a few months ago we had an education call all about referrals and setting up a referral system. So if this is going to be a strategy that you're going to focus on, you'll definitely want to go back to that education call and review that. Networking is very, very effective to meeting potential clients. That is networking in the right place where your target market is already hanging out. So that's really, really important, and that's not always a given. There's lots of places to network, but at the end of the day, I find not all of them as good of places, as high quality, as rich in potential clients as others. So be really picky about where you're networking, and you may have to try out some groups a couple times just to see what type of person is showing up, building your networking skills, getting your core marketing message down pat, your 30-second intro, your 60-second intro, and your sound bites when you're talking with people. That's really important as well when networking, so that people clearly understand the value, your value proposition, and what you bring to the table. I will say that is hard. That has been an area in my business that I have really struggled with, is getting my messaging right. And both of you have seen that I've been working on that, the last few months in my business, and it's constantly shifting as I'm looking for that way to position myself best in my market. Public speaking is an absolutely awesome way to find clients. So again, that's speaking at groups where your target market is attending. So that could be some sort of business groups, business networking, referral groups. It could also be through, think about this, through universities or organizations and associations. Really, really a great way to attract clients. Writing and publicity is moving further to the right as far as effectiveness, promotional events, and advertising. Promotional events they can work really, really, really well. The reason they're more to the right is they're harder to do, because there's a lot more moving parts to putting on a promotion, some sort of event like a workshop or a seminar, or it could be a trade show of some sort of, or like Linda, you attend a lot of those type of events where a lot of people are pulled together and they set up a booth. Those take a lot of time and energy to make happen. Doing a simple workshop for 5 or 10 people, isn't that as much work. But however, that might be a good strategy to get people to see what you have to sell. And then of course advertising, that includes Facebook advertising, it includes all types of advertising that you might do. So the bottom line here is, if you are looking for clients and you want to generate leads in your business as quickly as possible, I would say the first 3 activities, the direct contact and follow-up, networking and referral building, and public speaking, are the best ways to do that. For Linda, for you, promotional events definitely work well too. So that might even, for you, that would move closer to the left. For me, I like having promotional events, and that would also move more to the left for me. But again, they do take a lot more work and energy to put on. Are there any questions about this picture that I have up here? Any questions about the different marketing tactics? Are you clear on what needs to be done and what's most effective to get clients? Okay, good. And I know you've all seen this before. I'm a huge fan of repeating things, so that because we learn something different every time. So which tactics should you use? So you can see down here, challenge filling the pipeline. So Linda and Christine, this would apply to you. The tactics that you should choose are absolutely direct contact and follow-up, and networking and referral building. So you want to be reaching out to people who have bought from you in the past or expressed some interest but may not have purchased anything from you yet, and you want to follow up with those people. You'll also want to get involved in networking, attending networking events, and also thinking about who are good referral partners for you, who you can partner up with. So you'll definitely want to do the first 2 that I have highlighted, and then no more than 1 or 2 of these different activities below. So Linda, for you, you might choose direct contact and follow-up, networking and referral building, and then promotional events. That would keep you busy. That would keep you very, very busy. For Christine, well, you're a writer, so writing and publicity might be an extra event that you do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing to keep in mind is, what do you enjoy doing and where are your skills? So that's just something else to keep in mind as you're thinking about where to go here. Public speaking might also be one, but I'm thinking writing for you, Christine, would be good, and for you, Linda, promotional events, in addition to these two up here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, and Facebook advertising has been...
Has that worked for you, Linda? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's interesting in that that's where the consistency is becoming important for me, because all of a sudden I'll have somebody inquiring about something that I posted 3 months ago.
Okay, that's great. And I would continue to do that. So you would be doing these too.
Yes.
You'd be doing, let me just, I don't know where to highlight this on here. So you would be doing the first two and then 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then Christine would be doing 1 and 2 at the top, and then at least number 2 in the bottom. And I think that would be enough to keep you busy right now, Christine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you can see how this is helping you focus on what type of tactics you should choose.
Yeah.
And in a minute or two, we'll get into some very specific things that you can do in each of those different areas. So let's go through these other different areas of the pipeline. So this one is following up. So if someone is having a challenge with the following up, they're going to want to focus here. That's it. That's all they really need to do. They've got enough leads coming into their pipeline, more leads than they can probably handle, and you know, they need to follow up with people. So those are the two tactics that they will want to do. For someone where their challenge is having sales conversations, they will want to do direct contact and follow-up, networking and referral building. You can see this is pretty universal, that those two should be done, and then no more than 1 or 2 of these. And if someone is having a challenge closing sales, this is where they need to focus. So it gives some parameters about where to focus depending on what stage of the pipeline you are in your business that you're having challenges with. All right, let's take a few minutes and talk about how to implement a no-fail marketing system. Now, I do have another handout for you, and I'm going to pull that hand up. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Can you see the handout?
Most effective marketing tactics is at
Yep.
the top. Yeah.
That's it. I'll make it bigger so you can see it. Okay. So this is also posted in the Salon in the Files tab. So create an action plan. That's what you want to do. So I've repeated this graphic image, and both of you are here, you know, at filling the pipeline. This is where you are, right there. So that is your focus area. Choose strategies. This is just what we covered in the PowerPoint slides. So for each of you, it would be direct contact and follow-up. You check that off. Networking and referral building, and then the other tactics, 1 or 2 tactics that you're choosing. So for Linda, it would be promotional events and advertising, and for you, Christine, it would be writing. So wow, we already have some of your homework assignment almost completed. Now, this is where you're going to get into the strategies. You're going to be, or you're going to be choosing the tactics that you're going to be using, and this goes right back to the strategies that you chose in the previous question. So for both of you, direct contact and follow-up, networking and referral building, and then the other 1 or 2 strategies that you chose. Now, this is what you want to do. In each of these areas, you want to choose a total of 7 to 8 activities. So it's not 7 to 8 activities in each area. It might be 2 or 3 in this area. It might be 2 in this area, and then it might be 1 or 2 in the other areas. Is that clear?
Yes. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because I would have initially thought it was 7 or 8 in everyone.
Yeah. Choose a total.
It would have been overwhelming otherwise.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
totally overwhelming. And even 7 to 8 activities, and I alluded to this earlier, it might be a lot to start with if you're doing like 1 right now. So it may be that you need to work up to 7, 8 activities. Once you get to 7 to 8 activities that you're consistently doing in your business and you're finding that you're getting results from those activities, then you're going to be operating on all cylinders in your business as far as your consistency and marketing activities. But you may not be starting here if you're only doing 1, maybe just getting up to 3 or 4. So you know what I'm saying is, don't go out there if you're hardly doing any marketing and then expect to become a marketing powerhouse. Practice and work your way up to that. But you still can choose the 7 to 8 that you want to focus on to complete the assignment and get thinking about what you want to do. So all these are different examples of tactics that you can use for each of these different categories. So let me go back up here. Both of you have direct contact and follow-up. So you might choose, I want to have lunch or coffee with prospects. I want to send articles or links that are valuable and useful to them as part of my contact and follow-up. Maybe I do want to send a newsletter or e-zine, physical newsletter or some sort of e-zine, e-newsletter. Linda, I know you have that capability right now, so setting some goals as far as how consistent you want that to be. Networking, referral building, it could be attending networking meetings and seminars. That might be a strategy I choose. I'm just looking at this. Maybe you want to tell me which one of these do you like Linda or Christine, in these categories. Which ones are jumping out at you that you think you'd like to do in your business?
Well, under number 2, giving referrals, when you give referrals, people think of you more top of mind because you've already helped them.
That's an excellent example that you could use in your tactics every single week. Is, for example, set a goal of giving 1, 2, 3 referrals a week to someone else. Christine, how about you? Which ones are jumping out?
Actually, I have a question in the first category. What do you see as the difference between an announcement card or letter and the newsletters or e-zines in terms of content?
An announcement card or letter, I think, is more event. It's more event-based.
Okay.
So it would be an announcement like, I'm starting my business is new, or I've added a new service. Whereas the e-newsletter, it's something that is normally on a schedule and is being sent out on a consistent basis. So it's possible you could put your announcement in your e-zine as well and send out a solo email with the announcement, but it could also be that you're sending announcement cards or letters to your entire database or specific prospects. So it's just a strategy because not everybody has an e-newsletter. So it's just another way of keeping in touch.
Right.
Let's jump down to some of the others. Okay, so for you, Christine, the writing and the publicity, publishing some articles or tips, writing a column. Excuse me. We have posting to social media, being quoted in the media. So these are all writing and publicity based. There might be other ideas that you have that you could use in addition to the ones that I have listed. These are just examples, but just by looking at them, you might think, oh yeah, and this is another idea that I have. For Linda, promotional events. She goes to trade shows. And these are examples of other types of promotional events. Linda, you've been to some of my salon events. That would qualify as, I would qualify that as a open house type event.
Okay.
And then advertising. Facebook, we have Facebook ads here. Pay-per-click, which is like Google AdWords. So what you want to do is, based on your categories, is choose a total of 7 to 8 activities. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then what you want to do, after you've chosen your tactics, is you want to quantify them. And let me show you here. So we'll go up here. I know I'm going back and forth, but I want to show you this. So you can see here, these are pretty general. That's not going to help you measure how well you're doing. That's what step 4 is all about, is quantifying what you're doing so that you can measure success. And you'll see why this is so important once I show you your tracking sheet. So, for example, direct contact and follow-up. Spend 1 hour each day warm calling. Meet 3 new people in person each week where you're meeting them for coffee, coffee or lunch. Send letters or emails to 10 new contacts each week. So I've given some examples of what these activities look like. So the very specific activities that you do will relate to what you've chosen in these categories up here. And what I have listed isn't every example of how this might happen. So for warm calling, you might say, I want to call 1 person a day.
Mm-hmm.
Or for lunch and coffee with prospects, you might say, I want to meet 2 people a week. And this could be driven by people that you meet while networking or speaking. And you've identified these people, some of those people, as ones whom you would like to work with. So you're networking, because that's a given, right? You're both going to be networking, and you're going to be meeting people, so you want to meet X people for lunch or coffee. So these different categories up here, or different tactics that I have noted, you can come up with your own guidelines as far as how often you want to do them. I've just given you some examples here. Here for networking, go to 1 live networking event each week. Well, for some people, they go to 2 or 3. So they could change that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Writing and publicity, post to my blog twice per week. Write 1 article. So you see, this is all quantifying the tactics that you chose in step 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to take things step by step. So, it might look at first glance like this is repeating this up here. And it kind of is, but it's taking you to that next step of quantifying it.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I try to break things down so it's easy for people to flow through it and get the work done. And then set a goal for the next 30 days and use the 30-day marketing tracking sheet to track your progress. Okay, so let me go back to you. How is this so far? Is this helping you figure out or see a way that you might be adding more consistency into your marketing?
Oh, absolutely.
Good. Hey, Jocelyn. All right, fabulous. Let me see what is in my PowerPoint where I am with that. Okay, I want to show you the 30-day tracking sheet. Here we go. Can you see the 30-day tracking sheet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. This is the tool. So once you decide on all of your strategies and your tactics and you have quantified them, what I've put together here is a tracking sheet where you can start to keep track of how well you're doing on a daily basis. So you can see here in this example, I have 8 different activities noted, and this is an example of what a particular person might choose to do to market more consistently in their business. So they're going to do 15 minutes of online networking on LinkedIn every day. They're going to meet 3 new people in person each week, say for coffee or lunch, driven by their networking or speaking activities. They're going to attend 1 high-value networking event each week. They're going to contact 2 referral partners each week for to chat with them or meet with them for coffee, and this is all about exchanging referrals, letting others know that you're looking for referrals and you're happy to refer to them. Contact 3 speaking opportunities each week. Reconnect with 3 former clients each week. Send their e-zine or promotion 1 times per week, and contact 3 prospects daily via social media, email, or a warm call, which is the preferred method. So here we have 8 different activities noted, and I also want to note here in the spreadsheet that I've given you, you want to put your start date, and what I normally, this is 30 days, so I always like to work on a calendar basis. So that date that I put up here in field A11 is always going to be the first Monday of the month. That's what I'm going to put in here, and then it automatically populates these dates here, and this is Monday through Friday.
Got it.
Okay, the weekends I don't have noted, so that's why you see there's 5 and 4, and of course some weeks have an extra few days, and you know, the spreadsheet I created for myself accounts for that, but you can always add that in. I mean, you'll get the gist of how to work with this spreadsheet very quickly. So let's say it's Monday, January 4th, and this person is taking a look at their marketing tracking worksheet, and the reason this exists, where we have all these days and being able to put a yes or no in a column, is so that we can track our consistency, and we know exactly what we're going to be doing on a daily and weekly basis as far as marketing to help build our business. And in this particular example, this person wants to generate more leads. They're at that very first stage. So this is a very good example to use. And of course, you would modify it, like, you know, Christine, you have the writing, and Linda, you might want to do some more networking or Facebook advertising once a week. Whatever it is, it is something that you would want to add in here. So this person did networking today. So every day that they do it, and since this week has passed, I'm just going to, you know, show you an example. Can you see me filling in this worksheet? I just want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Meet 3 new people. Maybe they didn't. You know, they're just getting going. So, you know, maybe they met, and I always like to note, maybe they met 1. Okay. And I'll just go through 1 more. Now, in the example where, I just want to point this out here, you can see some of these are for the week. So if I sent my e-zine out, say, this week, it kind of looks like these would be no's. But if it's a weekly activity and you've completed it, kind of think of it as giving yourself a bonus, and you would mark yes for all the days because you completed that task for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So just remember to keep that in mind, that if it's a weekly activity and you've completed it, put yeses in all. And then what you do at the end of the week is you add up how many out of 8, or, you know, if it's 7, you can change these numbers. You add up your results. Now this is looking really bad because I didn't fill in the whole spreadsheet, but you know, I'm basically looking, again, remember we talked about whatever you're doing, try to be 80% productive. Strive for that. Does this seem helpful, this spreadsheet? It's kind of a game, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge to, you know, fill everything in. Oops, sorry about that. it's a challenge to fill everything in and see the progress that you're making. So this person attended 3 networking events. They didn't do this. Oops, they forgot to do that. So here we go. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. Say they didn't do that. Giving you an example, but maybe they did this. Okay, so they contacted 2 referral partners, so they are going to get credit for the whole week for that. So let's count out how many Ys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, so here they were 4. So based on 8, that's like 50%. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 4 again. 2, 3. It's pretty much going to be 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now they will get credit for contacting that one person. 2, 3, 4. So, okay, based on these results, do you think this person needs to do a little bit more work to achieve consistent marketing?
Well, for 80%, yes.
Yeah, definitely. For 80%, they want to be up at least 6, if not doing all 7 of these activities consistently. There's also a section to enter a goal. Like maybe you have a goal of enrolling 3 new clients. So maybe you got 1 here. So that would be, I have it as percent of target, so 33%. And as they move on, they would mark what progress they've made toward that goal. And here's just another little section, because as far as consistent marketing, I find that what we usually don't do is give ourselves enough time for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
There might be something else that you put in here. It might be I give myself permission for self-care, taking some time off. I'm going to focus on my marketing and try to be more consistent, but I'm going to watch out for myself too. So I'm going to take time off for lunch, or I'm going to take time to go for a walk every day. This is personal, so this is whatever you want to put in here. And then you would just continue filling in yes or no for the rest of the month.
Can I ask a general question?
Uh-huh.
And really this is to all of you. And I was wondering, like, how much time, and obviously this varies, but do you find, in terms of percentage of time that you give to your business, how much of your time is devoted to developing your business, and how much time do you give to the business itself? To what you're to your product and actually implementing your product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, I know exactly what you're saying. And
what do you find is your average? And I was wondering if all 3 of you wouldn't mind answering that. I'd appreciate it.
Anybody want to answer that? I can answer it. My goal, and remember when we started talking, was each of us felt we could do a better job and do more consistent marketing. My goal is to do about 14 hours of marketing activities a week, which equates to about 30% of my time.
Okay.
For someone, and that's marketing / sales activities. So that would be following up, that would be taking part in phone calls. So 30% of my time in marketing and sales activities, because my goal is to really build up my business this year and increase my visibility and stop hiding out. For someone who's new in business, Christine, you may find that to start to ramp up, that you may need to spend as much as 60% of your time on marketing and sales.
Okay.
Okay? Which you'll have time to do that if your client load isn't full.
Got it.
So that would be the range that I would suggest, 30 to 60% of your time for someone who's already in business and they have clients. the 30% number seems to work, and at the other end of the spectrum is somebody who's entirely new and needs clients. They're up at 60%. If you have clients already, Christine, and I know you do, maybe your number's 50% of your time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's also that balance too, and worrying about. I definitely need more clients, and I have time for more clients, but it's that worry of, making sure that I have enough time to do the actual work.
Exactly. And there is another spreadsheet in the Salon Forum that you might want to take a look at. It's called Time and How It Affects Your Business Model. You can actually play with the percent of your time that you invest in different activities such as client care, administration, marketing and sales, and it'll calculate what your minimum hourly rate is and how many clients you can actually handle. So you might want to check out that spreadsheet.
Thank you. What's it called again?
Yeah, and play with the percentages. And you put in how many hours you work a week too. So, I'm basing my work week on, I'm trying to cut back my hours actually to a 6-hour day instead of an 8 or 9-hour day. But I'm trying to be more efficient and productive in the time that I'm working because, I've hired help. So I'm going to be handing off some work. So, after 8 or 9 hours, I start to wear out. So I thought, 6 sounds like a good number. So that's how I base my time on that 6 hours a day. And maybe one day a little bit longer. Like I think Wednesday is a long day for me.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right. This is Jocelyn. I struggle a little bit with what exactly time I'm spending because I do have a team. So kind of the marketing is done by me and other team members. The work is done by me and other team members. So I don't necessarily know that I have a handle. I lose most of my time to overhead.
And what are those overhead activities that you're doing?
Oh, crisis control, invoicing, just dealing with the messy stuff. You give the team the stuff you already know the answers to. You deal with the mess.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Have you ever, Jocelyn, just thinking about moving you forward out of that chaos control, have you ever thought about what you enjoy doing most in your business? Like what activities you enjoy most? Are you doing those activities?
Not always. Some of that I've handed off. And I notice when I take it back, I'm like, oh, this is fun! And I realize something in that. Anyways, this is a different topic than what you're doing, but I probably do have a coaching question for you at one point when you have one of the open coaching calls.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's, in thinking about my business and how I structure my time, I really do focus on spending most of my time doing things that I enjoy doing, I'm good at doing, and no one else can do. And those activities are very simple. It is delivering the coaching and the training, creating the content, and doing the sales, closing sales. That's what I need to do. A lot of the administrative work, we all need to do some of that. We do. There's just no way around it. And there are always going to be things that we do in our business that we don't necessarily enjoy doing. That's just the nature of being in business. The key is to try to minimize that and hand off as much of those things as we possibly can so that we're doing what we enjoy most, because that will give us the most happiness and pleasure in our business, and that's also the way to profits. Our creativity and our brilliance, and that's what makes us different and unique with what we do. So just be aware of that, all of you, is, okay, knowing there's going to be days, where you're doing things that you just really don't enjoy doing. But like invoicing, that's just popping out for me, Jocelyn. This might be something that you want to hand off eventually to a bookkeeper. And I think you have some bookkeeping help, or you did. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly, but
yeah, no, I do. Sometimes it's almost just massaging things and making sure invoices are presented in a way that is good for the client. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'll be adding an open question to the forum because I've got a coaching question. Just realized. So thanks for pulling that out of me. I didn't know it was hiding inside.
You're very welcome. All right. So, wow, I am over time here. I apologize for that. So let me pull up our PowerPoint and just show you what the assignment is. Here it is. So this is your mission. Complete the assessment handout, complete the action plan handout, and we reviewed both of those today. Use the 30-day marketing tracking worksheet to keep track of your daily and weekly marketing actions to help you be more consistent about them, which will give you better results. Post your Post your 30-day marketing tracking sheet no later than Tuesday, February 2nd, 5 p.m. Central, to be entered in a drawing to win a prize. You know I love doing this. And post it in the thread to be noted in the discussion page. Implement your plan for 30 days. Celebrate forward movement and success. I can tell you that I have used this tracking tool in my business pretty actively since September. And when I do it, when I consistently market and follow through and do my activities, I see a bump in business. I get results within 30 days where I'm getting into more conversations, I'm generating more leads, I'm booking more business. So I can assure you that as you work through these assessments and determine what activities that you're going to focus on doing, that you will get results. You will get better results by being more consistent. And at the end of the 30 days, you want to take a look at your tasks. Don't change them. Like, don't be midway through and then change your tasks. Write it out 30 days. Give them a chance to work. And if you see some that just aren't working for you or you really don't enjoy doing them, then feel free to change them the next 30 days. But don't change everything because you really want to give this system time to work, and typically that would be a 90-day period. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if you do see something that absolutely is not working and you just don't want to do it at the end of 30 days, then pull it out. So just like any part of your business plan, it's in constant refinement, constant review and refinement about what you're doing. So what are your impressions? Do you think this will help you create more consistency in your marketing and sales activities?
I really see it as helping me to create structure for myself instead of feeling overwhelmed and trying to accomplish more things than I really can do. Mm-hmm. Is to be able to narrow in and focus, and I see that as helping me a lot.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind also, and I'll just mention this again just as a reminder, on the marketing tactics worksheet that you have where you're choosing those 7 or 8 tactics, again, for someone who realizes they're only doing 1 or 2 tactics, to try to jump up to 7 or 8 might be overwhelming. So instead of doing all 7 to 8, or expecting that of yourself, if you're doing, say, 2 tactics now fairly consistently, even doubling that to 4 or 5 would be a huge step in the right direction. So I'm just saying this to help prevent overwhelm and feeling that if you're starting from ground zero or very close to that and then trying to supercharge it right away, that could create some overwhelm. And Christine, I really did appreciate your question about how much time to spend on marketing, because I know this came up one time, and this was a few months ago, when Sue Leslie was part of her group, and she was asking how much time to market, and it was at that time that we realized that she was only working maybe 10 hours a week, and that was all she was contributing to her business. So she's not going to be doing 10 or 15 hours of marketing a week. She might be doing 6 or 8, which seemed six because she had no clients at that time, which even then seemed overwhelming to her. So just be mindful of overwhelm and avoid it. Do what you can. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jocelyn, Linda, any questions before we sign off?
No, I really like the organization of this. So I can see that if I follow it and implement it, it's going to work much better.
Yeah, and you know, just keep in mind what I had told you, all of you, a few minutes ago, is start from where you are and add to it. Don't think you have to be operating at full maximum level right away. Okay? And believe me, I've done that I'm telling you this from experience. You know, of myself, where, you know, I had my 8 activities listed, and by the 3rd or 4th day, I was just feeling of the first week, I was feeling in total overwhelm because it was a lot more marketing than I was used to doing. And it felt like it's all I was doing. And part of the reason was because I was implementing new systems. It's like, you know, even thinking about calling 3 prospects a day, and say you weren't doing that before. Well, how do you do that? You have to come up with a system, right? So it was just like total overwhelm. So start slow and take the next 30 days to ramp up to those 7 to 8 tactics that you're doing. Okay? All right, wonderful. Okay, well, it has been a pleasure having each of you here today for the Lunch and Learn call, and I'm really interested in seeing how you create your 30-day marketing plan, and looking forward to those posts and seeing what you've decided to do. And I really do want to know your success, you know, what you're experiencing in implementing this system that I've shared with you.
And
so
you post this assignment, right?
Yeah.
So we have a reminder.
Yes, I will post it. And happy marketing, everyone.
Thank you. Take care now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.